The prisoner held a secret that burned, a forbidden love behind the bars. In the stale gray dawn of Blackwood Penitentiary, where the air hung heavy with the metallic tang of rust and regret, Alex Harlan locked eyes with Jordan Reese across the exercise yard. It was a glance that could get a man killed, sharp, starving, loaded with everything they couldn't say. Alex, 25 and serving 15 for a botched robbery that wasn't even his idea, felt his chest tighten like a noose. Jordan, the 30-year-old guard with shoulders broad as the cell block walls and eyes that saw too much, paused mid-patrol, his boots scraping gravel like a whispered curse. One wrong move, and the secret they'd buried deeper than any shank would claw its way out, burning them both to ash. But in that stolen heartbeat, with the first light bleeding over the razor wire, Alex wondered if freedom was worth the lie they'd been living. The yard was a concrete scar on the Pennsylvania hills, ringed by towers where spotlights hummed like angry hornets. Inmates shuffled in their orange jumpsuits, the fabric chafing skin raw from sleepless nights, while guards barked orders that echoed off the walls like distant thunder. Alex wiped sweat from his brow, the chill morning dew mixing with the salt of his fear. He'd been inside 3 years, long enough to know the rhythm. Wake to the clang of bars at 5, choke down oatmeal that tasted like wet cardboard, then out here for an hour of pretending you weren't already dead. But Jordan changed the beat. He was the day shift supervisor, all clipped commands and unreadable stares. Yet when their paths crossed in the laundry room or the mess hall, something shifted, like the air before a storm, thick with ozone and promise. That morning, as the other cons hawked phlegm and traded bullshit stories, Alex lingered by the weight bench, his calloused hands gripping the cold iron. He was lean now, muscles carved from endless push-ups to drown out the nightmares of his old life. A dead-end job slinging burgers in Philly, a father who called him weak for crying at his mom's funeral, and that one night with a guy in a dive bar that ended with a kiss and a promise neither kept. Prison stripped you bare, but it also sharpened the edges. Jordan approached, clipboard in hand, his uniform hugging the lines of his body in a way that made Alex's pulse stutter. "Harlan," Jordan muttered, voice low under the guise of routine check-in. "Keep your head down today." Rumors flying about a shakedown. Alex nodded, but his eyes traced the vein pulsing at Jordan's temple, the faint scar above his lip from some bar fight back in his army days. Jordan was ex-military, honorable discharge after 2 tours in the sandbox, now trading sand for steel bars because the VA checks didn't stretch far enough for his little sister back in Pittsburgh. Their worlds had collided 6 months ago, in the dim boiler room during a blackout. Alex fixing a leak on work detail, Jordan fumbling with the generator. A spark jumped, then hands, then mouths crashing like waves on jagged rock. Since then, stolen touches in blind spots, notes slipped into laundry bags. "Miss your fire. G." It was suicide, pure and simple. Gangs inside didn't take kindly to fags, and the brass would crucify Jordan for crossing the line. As the whistle blew for lockdown, Alex felt Jordan's gaze linger, a silent plea wrapped in warning. Back in his cell, the 6x8 coffin of cinder block and despair, Alex slumped on the bunk, the thin mattress sagging under him like a defeated sigh. The walls pressed in, graffiti scarred with names of men long gone. Rico 02. Tommy loves Maria forever. He traced his own mark, a crude heart with a +J, scratched faint enough to deny. The secret burned, a coal in his gut, hot enough to melt the bars if he let it. Outside, a train whistled low through the valley, carrying ghosts of the world beyond. Neon signs flickering on South Street, the sizzle of cheesesteaks, laughter in crowded bars where a man could hold another's hand without the world exploding. Night fell like a shroud, the fluorescent buzz drilling into Alex's skull until lights out plunged them into merciful dark. He lay staring at the shadows dancing from the corridor lamp, heart hammering as footsteps echoed. Jordan's shift overlap, that midnight patrol no one questioned. The cell door's slot rasped open, a folded paper sliding through like contraband contrition. Alex snatched it, unfolding with trembling fingers. South fence, 2 a.m. Need you. The words blurred, his breath catching in a ragged inhale that tasted of rust and longing. Risk be damned. The ache was worse than any beating. Slipping out during count was a dance with death. Alex waited for the hack's snores, then ghosted down the tier, shadows swallowing his steps on the cold tile. The air grew thicker in the bowels of B-block, carrying the sour reek of bleach and unwashed bodies. He reached the south fence, razor coils glinting under moonlight like serpent teeth, and there was Jordan, leaning against the post, uniform unbuttoned just enough to reveal the dog tags nestled in dark curls. "You came?" Jordan whispered, voice cracking like dry earth, pulling Alex into the blind corner where cameras couldn't reach. Their bodies collided, urgent and fierce, Jordan's hands framing Alex's face as if he were something fragile, precious. Lips met in a bruise of need, tasting of black coffee and unspoken vows. Alex gasped against his neck, inhaling the clean soap scent that cut through the prison rot. Jordan always smelled like home, like fresh laundry on a summer line. "This'll kill us?" Alex murmured, fingers digging into Jordan's belt, the leather warm from his body heat. Jordan's laugh was a broken thing, low and raw, vibrating through Alex's chest. "Already dead without it, baby." They moved like thieves in the night, hands mapping scars and secrets. The bullet graze on Jordan's rib from Fallujah, the faded tattoo on Alex's forearm. A phoenix he'd inked in a haze of rebellion. Time fractured, minutes stretching into eternity until a distant door slammed, yanking them apart. Panting, foreheads pressed together, sweat beading cold on their skin, Jordan cupped Alex's jaw. "I got a plan. Sister's got a cabin upstate, off-grid. 1 more month. I pull strings for your parole hearing." Alex's heart seized, hope a knife twist. Parole? For armed robbery with priors? It was a dream spun from spider silk. But Jordan's eyes burned steady, that soldier's resolve unbroken. "We fight for this or we rot." Alex nodded, throat tight, the weight of it all crashing down. The love that bloomed in barbed wire, fierce as a riot, tender as a lullaby hummed in the dark. Days blurred into a fever dream of restraint. In the mess hall, amid the clatter of trays and the greasy steam of overcooked beans, Alex caught Jordan's eye across the room, a flicker of heat that made his fork tremble. The other guards ribbed Jordan about his soft touch on the pretty boys, oblivious to the truth slicing deeper than any joke. Alex shoveled food, the mush sticking like guilt, while whispers slithered from the Aryan table. Eyes on him, marking the way he moved, the way he didn't quite fit their mold. Tommy Hawk Riley, the block boss with swastika tats crawling up his neck like veins of hate, leaned in during yard time, breath hot with tobacco rot. "Heard you like it sweet, Harlan. That true?" Alex's fists clenched, nails biting palms, blood welling warm. He met Hawk's sneer with steel. "Mind your own cage, Riley." But the seed was planted, fear coiling like smoke. That night, in the choke of his cell, Alex dreamed of fire. Bars melting Jordan's arms, pulling him free into a world of open roads and endless skies. He woke to the bars rattling, Hawk's crew dragging him out for education. The beating was brutal, efficient. Fists like hammers on ribs, boots thudding into gut, the wet smack of knuckles on cheekbone. Blood filled his mouth, copper sharp, and he curled around the pain, whispering Jordan's name like a prayer. By morning, he was a bruised map in the infirmary. Nurse clucking over cracked lips while Jordan hovered in the doorway, face a mask of fury and helplessness. "Who?" Jordan hissed later, when the doc stepped out, voice a gravel grind. Alex spat pink into the sink. "Doesn't matter. We're poison here." But it did matter. Jordan stormed the block like a one-man reckoning, his report burying 2 of Hawk's boys in solitary on trumped-up charges. The retaliation simmered, a pot ready to boil over. Alex saw it in the glares, the sharpened toothbrushes palmed in showers. Love in here wasn't just forbidden. It was a flare in the powder keg. Yet in the stolen slivers, Jordan's hand steadying him during medline, the brush of thighs under the table in visiting room charade, they forged ahead. Letters smuggled out via Jordan's sister. Tales of boyhood Christmases in row houses. Dreams of a life where holding hands meant wedding bands, not handcuffs. The parole hearing loomed like a guillotine blade, 2 weeks out. Jordan worked angles, calling in favors from old sergeants turned lawyers, painting Alex as reformed. A model inmate with a job in the library, sketching portraits that captured souls in pencil strokes. Alex prepped in mirrors that didn't exist, practicing answers that rang hollow. I've changed, sir. Found God. Purpose. But the real salvation was Jordan, slipping into the storage closet after lights out. Their bodies a tangle of desperation. Skin slid slick with sweat, breaths mingling in gasps that echoed off metal shelves. I love you, Jordan groaned against Alex's collarbone. The words a brand searing flesh. Alex arched, nails raking Jordan's back, the sting a sweet counterpoint. Burn with me, then. The night before the hearing, storm clouds rolled in from the Appalachians, thunder rumbling like cell doors slamming. Rain lashed the windows, turning the yard to mud slick as lies. Alex paced his cell, nerves frayed to wires, when the slot whispered open. Jordan's face appeared, pale in the hall light, eyes wild. It's Hawk. He knows. Cornered me in the break room. Says he'll gut you unless I back off the hearing. Alex's blood iced, then boiled. Let him try. But Jordan's hand shot through, gripping his wrist hard enough to bruise. No. We end this tonight. I got a guard buddy covering shift. Meet me at the East Gate, 11 p.m. Wire cutters in the drainage ditch. The plan unfurled in hushed frenzy. Clip the fence, sprint to Jordan's truck hidden in the tree-line, vanish into the downpour toward that upstate haven. Risk layered on risk, but the alternative was chains eternal. As curfew fell, Alex's heart thundered louder than the gale, every creak of the building a betrayer. He waited, counting breaths that tasted of ozone and ozone-sharp fear, until the block quieted to snores and drips. Slipping free, he navigated the labyrinth, past the laundry's humid ghost, through the kitchen's lingering fry-oil haze. Muscles screaming from old wounds, but adrenaline a fire whip. The East Gate loomed, chain link shuddering in wind, puddles mirroring lightning forks. Jordan was there, rain plastering his hair, cutters glinting. They worked in sync, snip by snip, the metal's twang masked by thunderclaps. A gap yawned, freedom's jagged mouth. Alex squeezed through first, Barb snagging jumpsuit, drawing blood that mixed with rain, warm rivulets tracing freedom's cost. Jordan followed, then they ran, boots sucking mud, lungs burning with hill-scented air. Laughter bubbled up, manic and free, as they reached the truck, engine growling to life like a beast unchained. But fate's cruel hook twisted. Headlights pierced the storm, patrol early and unyielding. Tires screeched, voices bellowed over sirens wailing birth. Jordan floored it, gravel spitting, but the chase was a demon on tails. Hold on, he yelled, swerving onto backroads slick as betrayal, wipers slashing futile arcs. Alex gripped the dash, hard a war drum, glimpsing Hawk's face in the rearview. Grinning through the cage of a pursuing van, inmates sprung for the hunt. Bullets pinged fenders, one shattering glass in a crystalline scream. Jordan swerved, tires hydroplaning, the world tilting into abyss. The crash was symphony of ruin. Metal crumpling like paper, glass exploding in shards that bit like teeth, the jolt hurling them into black. Alex came to in wreckage's cradle, rain drumming his face. Jordan slumped over the wheel, blood sheening his temple. Jordan! The name tore from him raw as flayed skin. He crawled free, dragging Jordan's limp form to the ditch's edge, cradling his head, fingers slick with crimson. Wake up, baby. We made it this far. Distant shouts closed in, boots splashing. But in that suspended storm, Alex rocked him, tears salting the wounds. Jordan's eyes fluttered, hand finding Alex's. Love burns eternal, he rasped, voice a fading echo. Sirens wailed crescendo, lights bathing them in blue accusation. Hands yanked Alex away, cuffs biting wrists anew, but as they loaded Jordan onto stretcher, alive, barely en route to mercy, Alex met his gaze one last time. No words, just that unbreakable thread, woven through hellfire. In the aftermath, trials layered like storm clouds. Escape charges, assault raps, but Jordan's testimony cracked the case. Hawk's gang exposed, corruption unearthed in Blackwood's rotten core. Alex's sentence commuted, paroled early on good behavior and whistleblower grace. Months later, under upstate pines that whispered secrets to wind, Alex waited on the cabin porch, sketchpad idle in lap. The door creaked, Jordan stepping out. Scar faded on brow, uniform traded for flannel soft as forgiveness. They embraced, slow and sure, the burn tempered to embers that warmed without consuming. In America's heartland sprawl, where bars were taverns serving stories instead of sentences, their love bloomed unchecked. Walks hand in hand at dusk, laughter echoing over lake waters, a life reclaimed from ashes. The secret? It didn't burn to destroy. It forged them unbreakable, a flame defying the dark. The cabin smelled of pine sap and fresh coffee, a far cry from the bleach stink of Blackwood's halls. Alex inhaled deep, letting the aroma ground him as Jordan's truck rumbled up the drive, gravel crunching under tires like bones settling into place. 6 weeks since the crash, for since Jordan's release from the hospital. Concussion, fractured ribs, but whole enough to testify and walk free. The brass had cut him loose with a quiet severance. No fanfare for the guard who loved across the line. Now, here they were, fugitives of fate in this Adirondack hideaway. Jordan's sister Mira turning it over with a wink and a, "Don't fuck it up, boys." Jordan emerged, duffel slung over shoulder, his stride still carrying that soldier's caution. But his smile cracked wide when he spotted Alex. "Missed this view," he drawled, dropping the bag to pull Alex up, mouths meeting in a kiss that tasted of road dust and relief. Alex melted into it, hands fisting Jordan's shirt, the fabric soft against calluses earned from library shelving and yard labor. "View's better with you in it?" Alex murmured, nipping Jordan's lower lip, eliciting a groan that rumbled like distant thunder. They tumbled inside, door banging shut, bodies rediscovering rhythms lost to hospital beeps and courtroom stares. Later, tangled in sheets that smelled of lavender detergent. Myra's touch. They lay spent, limbs heavy with satiation. Rain pattered the tin roof, a gentle counterpoint to the storm that had nearly claimed them. Jordan traced lazy circles on Alex's chest, over the phoenix tattoo now faded but fierce. "Ever think about what if?" he asked, voice soft in the dim lamplight, shadows playing across his features like old film reels. Alex turned, propping on elbow, studying the man who'd become his anchor. "What if we never met? Yeah. But we're here. That's the script we write now." Days unfolded like uncreased pages. Mornings chopping wood, the axe bites satisfying in crisp air redolent of damp earth. Afternoons fishing the lake, lines plunking soft, Jordan's laugh booming when Alex hooked his boot instead of bass. Evenings by the fire, crackle and pop underscoring stories swapped. Alex's Philly boyhood, dodging bullies who sensed his difference before he named it. Jordan's Pittsburgh upbringing, enlisting young to escape a father's belt and a mother's tears. "First guy I kissed was Ramirez, in basic," Jordan confessed one night, poker face slipping as embers glowed. "Felt like coming home, till the CO caught wind." Alex squeezed his hand, knuckles brushing in silent solidarity. "Home's wherever you are." But ghosts lingered, whispers in the wind. Letters arrived, forwarded by Mira. Hawk's trial date set, inmates flipping like cards in a rigged deck. Alex's parole officer checked in weekly, voice tinny over the landline, probing for cracks. Staying clean, Harlan? Clean, ha! If only the ink knew the stains of love's gamble. Nightmares clawed back sometimes, replaying the chase. Bullets whining, Jordan's blood warm on his hands. He'd wake gasping, sheets twisted, only to find Jordan's arms pulling him close, murmurs soothing like balm. Breathe, love. It's over. Yet over was a lie. Scars itched like fresh welds. One crisp October afternoon, as leaves blazed crimson and gold across the hills, Jordan got the call. Testimony needed, he said, hanging up, face ashen. Hawk's lawyer dragging it out, wants to paint us as the villains. Alex's gut nodded, fork pausing mid-bite of Myra's venison stew. The meat rich but turning leaden. Go. End it proper. Jordan nodded, but his eyes held storms. Fear of the cage calling him back, of losing this fragile piece. The drive to Pittsburgh was a gauntlet of memories. Interstates snaking past prison shadows, billboards hawking freedom's illusions, cars, beers, lives unbarred. Jordan gripped the wheel white-knuckled, radio humming low country twang about lost loves and open roads. Alex reached over, thumb stroking his thigh, the denim warm. You're the hero here. Remember that. Jordan's laugh was wry, edged with ache. Heroes don't kiss in closets. But Alex saw the steel beneath, the man who'd faced IEDs and now confronted courtroom vipers. Court convened in a brick fortress downtown, air thick with polished wood and stale coffee. Jordan took the stand, suit crisp but tie askew, voice steady as he recounted the corruption. The guards on payroll, the gangs running unchecked. Hawk glowered from the dock, tats stark under fluorescent glare, but his empire crumbled with each affidavit. Alex watched from the gallery, heart swelling with pride and terror, the gavel's crack echoing like finality. Verdict: guilty, life without parole. As cuffs ratcheted on Hawk, Jordan met Alex's eyes, a nod passing like a vow renewed. Back at the cabin, celebration was quiet fire. Bourbon sipped slow by hearth, bodies joining in slow burn, every touch a reclamation. We did it! Jordan breathed against Alex's neck, sweat-slick skin sliding. Alex arched, gasping, the world narrowing to this love's defiant pulse. But dawn brought new shadows. A knock echoed, federal badges flashing. Reese, Harlan, irregularities in the parole. Jordan's face drained, Alex's blood roaring. The escape's loose ends unraveling like cheap thread. They lawyered up, Myra's connections pulling strings, but weeks stretched taut. Interrogations in sterile rooms, voices droning accusations. Aiding and abetting, ethics breaches. Jordan paced the cabin like a caged wolf, bourbon bottle half empty, eyes hollow. If they take me back. Alex cornered him against the counter, hands framing his face fierce. They won't. Fight, Jordan. For us. The kiss was battle cry, desperate and deep, but doubt seated, a thorn in their bloom. Winter crept in, snow blanketing the hills and hush, turning the lake to mirror of ice. Holidays loomed, first free in years. Trees strung with lights that twinkled like distant stars. Mira arriving with pies steaming apple sweet. But joy fractured when the ruling dropped. Jordan's severance upheld, Alex's parole intact, but probation extended, shadows of suspicion trailing. Close call, the lawyer said, clapping shoulders. Close, too close, the burn flaring warning. New Year's Eve, fireworks cracked over the frozen water, bursts of color painting their faces. Jordan pulled Alex close on the porch, breath fogging and chill. To secrets that save, he toasted, glasses clinking. Alex leaned in, heart full. To the fire that frees. As midnight told, they kissed under falling stars, the world vast and theirs, forged in flame's unyielding grace. Yet spring thawed more than ice. Opportunities bloomed. Jordan landed security gig at a mill, steady pay for watchful eyes. Alex enrolled in community college, pencils flying over canvases capturing souls. Portraits of Myra's laugh lines, Jordan's quiet strength. Life wove normalcy. Grocery runs with cartwheels squeaking, movie nights with popcorn kernels popping sharp, lazy Sundays tangled in sunbeams. But the past's echo persisted, a low hum. One muggy June evening, as cicadas droned in humid haze, an unmarked envelope arrived. No stamp, just Alex's name scrawled bold. Inside, a photo. Them in the cabin window, silhouettes entwined, time-stamped weeks back. Note clipped, walls have eyes. Watch your step. Alex's hands shook, paper crumpling, stomach roiling with old bile. Blackwood alumni, perhaps, grudge nursed like gangrene. He showed Jordan over dinner, burgers sizzling on grill, smoke curling acrid. Jordan's jaw set, fork stabbing plate. We move. Start fresh. Relocation was whirlwind. Mira scouting Denver spots, promises of mountains and anonymity. Packing boxes echoed hollow, ghosts fleeing with each tape rip. Last night in the cabin, they made love on the floor amid chaos, bodies urgent against bare wood, moans mingling with wind sigh through pines. Wherever, as long as with you, Alex panted, Jordan's response a growl of possession. Colorado welcomed with thin air and vast skies, apartment overlooking Rockies that jagged like freedom's teeth. New names whispered in applications, old scars hidden under fresh ink. A matching phoenix on Jordan's bicep, intertwined flames. Jobs settled. Jordan in private ops, Alex bartending nights, slinging drinks with easy grin that masked the vigilance. Dates were discoveries. Hiking trails where boots crunched pine needles, hands linked unashamed. Pride parades in the city, rainbows waving like banners of belonging. But the threat shadowed, a specter in rear views. Anonymous calls breathing static threats, packages with prison-issue soap bars, mocking relics. Jordan installed cameras, slept with one eye open, his touch turning protective cage. Alex felt the strain, love's weight bowing them. We can't run forever, he said one dawn, coffee steaming bitter, sunrise gilding Jordan's worry lines. Jordan pulled him onto lap, chair creaking. Then we face it. Together. The confrontation came unbidden. A rainy Tuesday when Jordan's shift ran late. Alex locked up the bar, neon buzzing open lie, when tires crunched outside. Two figures emerged, hoods dripping. Ex-cons, faces familiar from yard scraps, eyes hard as flint. Harlan, or whatever you're calling yourself now. The leader snarled, voice gravel from smokes and shouts. Stepping close enough for Alex to smell the cheap cologne masking fear sweat. Hawk sends regards. You and your guard buddy ruined everything. Alex backed against the door, heart slamming cage ribs, but anger flared hot. Hawk's rotting. Your game's over. The second lunged, fist whistling, but Alex dodged. Barstool cracking over knee width would splinter crack. Chaos erupted, punches landing thud, glass shattering in jangle, blood spraying arc. He fought dirty, nails raking, knee to groin eliciting wheeze. Sirens wailed distant, drawn by noise, and the thugs bolted, shadows melting into storm. Jordan burst in minutes later, face thunder, scooping Alex from the debris, hands roaming for hurts. Called it in. Plates traced, lowlifes from the old crew. Bruises bloomed purple on Alex's jaw, but he grinned through split lip, copper tang sharp. Handled it. We're done hiding. Jordan's kiss was fierce, tasting victory and salt. Cleanup was catharsis. Shards swept, locks changed, statements signed. The incident closed the loop, feds rounding up remnants. Hawk's network dismantled like a house of cards. Peace settled, tentative then solid, love's foundation shored. Summer peaked in heat wave shimmer, Their anniversary marked with rooftop picnic, stars wheeling overhead, wine loosening tongues. Jordan knelt sudden, ring glinting simple gold. Marry me, Alex. Make it legal, make it forever. Tears pricked. Alex's yes a whisper carried on breeze. Vows exchanged in courthouse hush months later. Rings exchanged warm, sealing the burn into eternal light. Years wove tapestry. Adoptions whispered. A kid with Jordan's eyes and Alex's fire. Gallery shows for Alex's art, strokes capturing queer resilience. Jordan's book on reform, words igniting change. The secret that burned? It illuminated. A beacon in America's vast, forgiving sprawl. Denver's skyline glittered like scattered diamonds against the bruised purple dusk, a far cry from the razor-wire horizons of Blackwood. Alex leaned on the balcony rail, cigarette smoke curling lazy into the cooling air. The city's hum a soothing drone of horns and laughter below. 2 years since the proposal, 1 since the wedding. Simple affair with Mira officiating, her voice cracking on forever amid wildflowers and whiskey toasts. Life had settled into grooves worn smooth. Mornings with Jordan's coffee breath warm on his neck, evenings sketching by lamplight while Jordan pored over case files. His private security firm thriving on contracts that kept wolves from doors. But tonight, unease prickled like static before lightning. The latest mail held no threats, just bills and junk. Yet Alex's gut twisted, old instincts from yard watches flaring. He stubbed the smoke, grinding ember under heel, and slipped inside, the apartment's warmth wrapping like Jordan's arms. Jordan looked up from the couch, laptop glowing blue on his lap, tie loosened in that end-of-day disarray that still quickened Alex's pulse. "You good?" Jordan asked, voice low, sensing the shift like he always did, soldier's radar unblunted. Alex dropped beside him, head on shoulder, inhaling the familiar mix of cologne and gun oil from range practice. Just ghosts, thinking about the gallery opening tomorrow. Lies, half-truth. The show was real, his portraits of queer survivors raw on canvas. But the real haunt was the article in the local rag that morning. Feature on prison reform, Jordan's name dropped, old wounds prodded public. Jordan's hand found his thigh, thumb circling soothing. "They'll love it. You're brilliant, babe." The praise landed soft, but Alex caught the tension in Jordan's jaw, the way his eyes flicked to the door. Sleep came fitful, dreams replaying the bar fight. Fists thudding meat, glass crunch under boot, the acrid bite of fear sweat. He woke to Jordan's alarm, shrill as a cell buzzer, and pulled him back down, legs tangling in a morning ritual of lazy thrusts and murmured endearments. "Love you," Jordan breathed, collapsing spent, forehead slick against Alex's. "Wouldn't trade this for anything." Alex held him close, heart echoing the vow, but as Jordan showered, water hissing steam, he rifled the nightstand drawer, fingers closing on the old photo, now framed as talisman. Them in the cabin, blurred but unbreakable. The gallery was a converted warehouse in Lodo, exposed brick and track lights casting dramatic pools on white walls. Alex's pieces hung bold. A young man with eyes like shattered glass, titled Bars Within. Jordan's portrait, subtle strength in shadowed lines, sentinel's gaze. Guests milled, wine glasses chiming, murmurs appreciative. Mira arrived fashionably late, hugging Alex fierce, her perfume floral sharp. "Proud of you, kiddo." Pops woulda burst. Alex swallowed the lump. His dad long gone, but her words healed cracks. Jordan navigated the crowd smooth, hand at Alex's low back possessive, introducing him with pride that swelled chests. "My husband, the artist." The word still thrilled, husband. Ring heavy on finger, a claim staked. But midway through, a face pierced the buzz. Tall, gaunt, with eyes cold as Blackwood steel. Ex-inmate, peripheral to Hawk's ring, now reformed, per the program Jordan consulted. "Reese," the man said, voice oily, handshake lingering too long. Heard you two made it big. Inspiring. Alex's skin crawled. Smile fixed brittle. But Jordan's grip tightened. Polite steel. Appreciate it. Enjoy the show. Later, in the alcove by the bar. Ice clinking in buckets. Chatter muffled. The man cornered them. Breath boozy. Know what they say? Snitches get stitches. Even out here. Jordan's posture shifted. Calm predator. That a threat, Mr. Ellis? Ellis smirked, yellow teeth flashing. Just chat. But watch your backs. Old friends remember. He melted away, but the poison lingered, souring the triumph. Driving home, wipers swiping rain streaks, tension crackled cab thick. He's bluffing, Jordan said, but his knuckles blanched on wheel. Alex stared out, city lights blurring tears. Or he's not. We built this. Don't let it crumble. Jordan pulled over abrupt, engine ticking cool, and yanked Alex across console. Kiss bruising with resolve. Won't. I swear. Weeks passed in vigilant rhythm. Security cams upgraded. Routes varied, but normalcy asserted. Dinners with Myra's crew. Bowling nights where balls thundered lanes, Jordan's cheers drowning doubts. Alex sold 3 pieces, checks padding their nest egg for the family talks. IVF whispers, surrogacy dreams. A mini-us, Jordan mused one night. Feet tangled on couch. Take-out cartons greasy on coffee table. Alex laughed, head on his chest, heartbeat steady drum. With your stubborn and my art? Chaos. But Ellis's shadow lengthened. Graffiti slashed their building's alley one dawn. Slurs in red spray, dripping like wounds. Fags burn. Jordan reported it. Cops nodding weary. Hate crime backlog. Alex scrubbed the wall till arms ached. Paint flecking skin like blood. Rage boiling. Enough, he declared over breakfast, eggs frying sizzle. We fight public, your book tour, my exhibits. Show 'em we're not hiding. Jordan's tour kicked off in Austin. Panels on reform buzzing with questions sharp as shivs. Alex tagged along, sketching crowds, but hotel nights were havens. Room service clinking, sheets rumpling under urgent hands. You're my fire, Jordan gasped, body slick, city lights winking voyeur. Back in Denver, Alex's solo show drew press, headlines praising resilient visions. Ellis surfaced again, lurking gallery edges, but security, Jordan's hires, escorted him out, polite muscle. Climax brewed in fall chill, leaves crunching rust underfoot. Anonymous email hit Jordan's inbox. Cords to an abandoned mill. Come alone or the hubby pays. Jordan's face hardened granite. Trap. But we end it. Alex protested. Voice cracking. Together. Compromise. Alex in shadows with phone live to dispatch. Jordan wired for sound. The mill loomed skeletal against moon-pale sky. Wind whistling through broken panes like ghosts keening. Jordan entered alone. Boots echoing hollow. Flashlight beams slicing dark. Ellis, show yourself. Figures emerged, 3 hooded, bats swinging casual menace. Reese, thought you'd run forever. Fists flew, grunts and thuds punctuating night. Jordan's training a blur of blocks and counters. Alex watched via feed. Heart lodged throat. Dialing 911 frantic as bone cracked. Jordan's? Ellis's? Sirens shattered silence. Perps scattering like roaches. But Ellis lunged last, knife glinting. Alex burst from hiding, tackling wild. Blades skittering concrete with metallic scree. They rolled, breaths heaving, until cuffs clicked, Ellis spitting curses. Jordan hauled Alex up, embrace crushing, blood warm on shirts. Knew you couldn't stay put. Laughter bubbled, shaky relief. Trials wrapped swift. Conspiracy charges sticking. Ellis joining Hawk in concrete tombs. Media spun hero's tale, Jordan's firm booming, Alex's art soaring. Commissions from NGOs, galleries nationwide. Peace hard won, bloomed deeper. Winter brought snow globe wonder. their first holiday as family in making. Agency meetings, profiles poured over hope-laced. New Year's, under Denver fireworks exploding joy, Jordan whispered, "To flames that light the way." Alex's kiss sealed it, love's burn eternal guide. Spring erupted in Denver like a long-held breath released, cherry blossoms dusting sidewalks pink, the air alive with pollen and possibility. Alex woke to sunlight slanting golden through blinds, Jordan's side of the bed cool. Early shift at the firm, his kiss lingering on Alex's temple like dew. He stretched, muscles loose from yoga class the night before. The instructor's calm voice still echoing, "Breathe into the edges." Easy to say. Their edges had been tested, sharpened, but now they gleamed. Coffee brewed dark and strong, filling the kitchen with roasted earth scent. As Alex flipped through the paper, headlines blurring past politics to local color. Pride Month planning, a nod to Jordan's reform panel. Bride. The word still sparked something electric, a reclaiming after years of shadows. Their first parade together had been tentative, hands brushing in crowd crush. But now, they volunteered, rainbow pins glinting on jackets, waving signs that read, "Love reforms all." Mira called mid-sip, voice bubbly over speaker. Surrogate match. Meeting next week. Brunette, teacher, wants to hike the world post bump. Alex's heart stuttered, mug clattering sink. Baby. The dream they'd sketched in cabin whispers, now tangible as ultrasound blips. Jordan'll flip. Laughter shared, warm as hugs across miles. Jordan returned at dusk, tie askew, eyes lighting when Alex spilled the news over takeout Thai. Noodles steaming spicy. "Holy shit," Jordan breathed, fork forgotten. Pulling Alex across table for a kiss that tasted of soy and shock. "We're doing this. A family." They made love on the living room rug, slow and reverent, bodies mapping futures in size and strokes. The city's pulse faint through walls. The meeting was crisp office space, agency reps smiling professional, the surrogate Lena, vibrant in sundress, laugh easy as spring breeze. "I get it," she said, eyes kind. "Want this kid raised fierce, loved big." Handshakes sealed intent, papers rustling promise. Driving home, windows down, wind whipping hair, Jordan's hand covered Alex's on gearshift. Scared, Alex admitted, terrified, but ready. Jordan's grin flashed white. "Me too, Dad." Summer sweltered, construction dust thick in air as they prepped the nursery. Walls painted soft blue, crib assembled with swear-laced laughs, tiny clothes folded neat. Alex's art studio expanded, canvases leaning like soldiers. Abstracts of flame and chain, symbolizing burn to breakthrough. A collector bit, fat check funding the dream. Jordan's panels drew crowds, his voice steady on stages, sharing Blackwood's underbelly, pushing bills for queer inmate protections. "Love doesn't lock away," he'd say. Alex in front row, pride swelling chest. But ripples disturbed the calm. A letter arrived, forwarded from Pittsburgh. Anonymous, postmarked vague, words scrawled venom. "Blood calls to blood. Your spawn won't escape the cage." Alex's hands trembled, paper crumpling, bile rising acrid. Old grudges, perhaps kin to Ellis, nursing hate like rot. He burned it in sink, flame licking blue, but ash lingered bitter. Jordan found him staring vacant, pulled confession close. "We up security. Tell Lena. Agency handles threats." Lena took it in stride. Ultrasound glowing life at 12 weeks. Heartbeat whooshing like ocean roar. "Kid's a fighter already," she joked at checkup, gel cold on belly. Alex held Jordan's hand, tears pricking at the grainy image. Tiny limbs flailing defiant. "Ours," Jordan whispered, voice thick. Fall painted peaks fiery, harvest festivals buzzing with cider steam and hayride creeks. They attended one, bellies full of pumpkin pie sweet, when Alex doubled over sudden, cramp sharp as knife. AR lights harsh, Doc's murmuring miscarriage risk, bed sheets crisp under clammy skin. Jordan paced, phone glued ear to Mira, while Alex curled fetal, grief crashing wave. Not fair, he choked, hand on empty ache. Hours blurred. Verdict. False alarm, bedrest prescribed. Relief flooded, but fragility etched deep. Winter whispered warnings, snow falling fat flakes that muffled world. Holidays glowed, tree twinkling, Lena joining for turkey carved juicy, toasts to the little blaze. But New Year's brought blizzard, power flickering, candles guttering wax pools. Huddled under blankets, Jordan's stories warded dark. Army tales of stars over desert, love's first sparks. You saved me, Alex murmured, head pillowed on chest. Jordan's fingers combed hair gentle. We saved each other. Spring rounded belly, Lena blooming radiant, kicks rippling like Morse code under Alex's palm. Baby shower thrown by Mira, streamers rainbow, cake layered chocolate decadence. Gifts unwrapped amid ooze. Onesies tiny, mobiles spinning stars. But envelopes slipped in amid confetti. Photo of Lena walking, circled red. She burns next. Panic surged. Alex bolting bath to retch porcelain cold. Jordan called feds, voice steel. Traces leading to a distant cousin of Hawks, unhinged by loss. Protection details shadowed Lena, agency vigilant, but tension coiled spring-tight. Alex's art turned turbulent, strokes furious red and black, gallery murmuring concern. Channel it, Jordan urged one night, bodies joining fierce, release a roar against fear. Our fire consumes threats. Climax crested in June heat, pride parade pulsing Denver streets. Drums thumping bass, floats glittering, crowds chanting unity. They marched mid-pack, Lena waving from sideline under guard, belly prominent badge. Then chaos. Shouts erupting flank, figures charging with pipes swinging hate. Jordan shoved Alex behind, tackling lead assailant in tangle of limbs and grunts, pipe clanging sidewalk. Alex lunged aid, kicking knee with crack while security swarmed, cuffs snapping. The cousin, wild-eyed, spat slurs as hauled away. You perverts deserve cages. But parade resumed, cheers drowning venom, rainbows arching defiant sky. Lena hugged them post, tears salting sweat. Kid felt that, kicking mad. Laughter broke, cathartic flood. Trials crushed conspirator swift, sentences stacking ironclad. Summer healed, baby arriving August dawn. Cry piercing bright, tiny fists waving fury. They named him Phoenix, Nix for short, dark curls and blue eyes blending theirs. Nursery-filled coos and midnight feeds, bottles warming, diapers crinkling soft. Years spun, Nix toddling wobbly, first words, dada dual delight. Alex's exhibits touring coasts, Jordan's firm national. Threats faded echo, love's burn illuminating paths. Family hikes echoing laughs, holidays raucous with Myra's clan. The secret that once scorched now warmed hearth. A tale told in whispers to Nix. We fought for this light, little flame. Phoenix's laughter bubbled like brook over stones in the Rocky Mountain Trail. His 5-year-old legs pumping chubby determination up the switchback. Alex hoisted him piggyback when fatigue hit, small arms locking neck, breath hot on ear with sticky candy whispers. Jordan led, pack straps creaking, binoculars slung for eagle spots, his profile etched sharp against azure sky. Look, Nix, there's your namesake, Jordan called, pointing to a red-tailed hawk wheeling thermal currents, wings slicing air silent. Camp setup hummed routine. Tent stakes thumping earth firm, fire pit crackling kindling to blaze, S-mores toasting gooey gold under stars pricking velvet black. Nix conked out zippered in bag, snores tiny, while Alex and Jordan leaned log rough, beers sweating chill, flames dancing reflections in eyes. 10 years, Jordan murmured, clinking bottles, the number heavy with roads traversed, Blackwood's bowels to this wild freedom. Alex leaned in, lips brushing stubble. Best plot twist. Dawn broke misty, coffee perking tinny over coals, birdsong trilling wake up. Hike resumed, streams gurgling pebble song, wildflowers nodding violet. But midway, Nix tugged Alex's hand, face scrunched worry.
Dedi yotsad.
Alex knelt, knee-damp moss, cupping chin.
Nahum spo, pul.
Just thinking deep thoughts. Truth bent. Jordan had confided late night. Firm merger pending. Old contacts sniffing reform ties. Ghosts of Hawk's Web, now corporate wolves. They want leverage, he'd said, voice gravel. Alex squeezed Nix's fingers sticky. Adventure time, race to the falls. Back home, suburb sprawl with swing-set creaking yard. Life-layered domestic bliss. School drop-offs horn beeping. Parent nights folding chairs squeak. Alex's studio awash paint splatter. His latest series, Embers Eternal, toured Midwest, critics praising visceral queer odyssey. Sales funding Nix's college whispers. Jordan's days blurred boardrooms. Nights unwinding with Nix's bedtime tales. Voices pitching hero lows. Mira visited Autumn Blaze, leaves crunching rust under boots at park. Nix chasing frisbee arc Auntie M, he yelled, tackling legs. She scooped, spinning dizzy, laughter peeling. Over cider steaming later, she eyed Alex keen. You two glowing, but Jay's tense spill. Alex sighed, steam fogging glass. Business shadows. Old prison crap resurfacing. Myra's hand covered his, calloused from mechanic grease. You've beaten worse. Lean in. Thanksgiving turkey roasted golden, juices sizzling pan, table groaning pies and politics dodged. Nix's drawing taped fridge, stick figures hand-joined under rainbow. But post-feast, Jordan's phone buzzed urgent. Merger exec demanding meet. Sensitive history. Jordan's fork paused mid-mash, jaw ticking. Go, Alex urged, foot nudging under table. Clear air. The meet was downtown high-rise, glass gleaming sterile, air-chilled AC hum. Jordan sat leather creak, exec across polished oak, smile shark. Past discretions, Reese could tank the deal. Jordan's calm cracked frost. Blackmail? That's your play. Papers slid. Non-disclosure fat, concessions steep. Jordan pocketed phone. Alex listening live, heart thud. No dice. Walk. Fallout rippled. Headlines sniffing scandal. Firm stocks dipping red. Jordan paced home. Nix napping couch. Footsteps muffled carpet. They leaked it. Blackwood love story twisted tabloid trash. Alex pulled him windowside. City twinkling below. Leching tok. We're truth. Kiss sealed resolve. But sleep evaded. Sheets twisting doubt. Winter gripped iron. Snow plowing slushy streets. Holiday lights twinkling defiant. Nix's school play. Elf ears flopping. Lines lisped adorable. Drew cheers, Jordan filming shaky. But whispers followed. Parents side eye at pickup. That guard guy. Alex's hackles rose, but he smiled steel, hand waving Nix aboard bus. Climax brewed Valentines. Rose petals wilting under Nix's sneakers as he burst school ward. Jordan's firm teetered. Execs circling vultures. Anonymous package thumped door. Clippings yellowed. Blackwood mugshots. Note. Expose or else. Jordan's fist crumpled it. Veins bulging. Enough. He rallied bored. Testimony pouring. Reform creds shining. Ethics unbowed. Merger folded. But new partners emerged. Ethical steel. Spring thawed vindication. Article dropped. Jordan's byline, from bars to boardrooms. Narrative reclaimed. Alex's exhibit coincided. Pieces selling frenzy. One to a senator pushing bills. Pride Month marched triumphant. Nix on shoulders waving flag. Crowd roaring embrace. Summer vacationed beach-bound. Waves crashing foam. Nix building sand forts moat deep. Bonfire night. Sparks ascending starwood. Jordan carved stick heart. Nick's giggling ash smudge. Love you both, Jordan said, voice rough smoke. Alex's throat tightened, arms slung shoulder. Burning bright. Fall brought school jitters. Nick's backpack oversized. First crush confessed shy. Boy in class. Like us. Heart swelled. Talks gentle on labels fluid. Winter holidays twinkled fuller. Nick's letters to Santa scrawled, family forever. Years accelerated. Nick's teen lanky, guitar strumming chords raw, debates fiery on rights. Alex mentored art class, Jordan keynote conferences, love's flame mentoring ripples. The secret, now legend, inspiring toasts at reunions, a burn that built empires of heart. Nick's 16th birthday dawned crisp October bite. Balloons bobbing helium cheer in the kitchen. Pancakes flipping golden stacks syrup-drenched. Alex wielded spatula flourish. Jordan sneaking batter licks. Nick's groaning teen eye roll but grin betraying delight. Guitar strings, seriously? Nick's teased unwrapping. Fingers strumming air riff. Party loomed backyard bash. Friends tumbling grill smoke. Burgers charring juicy. Music thumping bass from speakers rigged tree. But mid-flip, Nick's face shadowed, burger tongs pausing. Dad, that article, you famous now? Jordan chuckled, flipping patty sizzle. Infamous, kid. Comes with the territory. Truth layered, Jordan's book hit shelves fall. Burning secrets. A guard's reckoning. Climbing charts with raw prose on forbidden love, systemic rot. Signings swarmed. Fans gripping hands, tales shared. Queer inmates reaching out, gratitude thick. Alex's series followed, gallery retrospective, flame forged. Canvases vast evoking prison stark to freedom blaze. Opening night buzzed elite, champagne fizzing bubbles, critics murmuring acclaim. Nick's tagged along suit awkward, but beamed pride when Alex dedicated. To the men who burned for light, Jordan, my eternal. Post-party cleanup, fairy lights twinkling dusk. Nick's cornered them porch swing creak. Proud, he mumbled, cheeks flush, hugging fierce before room-bound. Alone, Jordan pulled Alex's lap, rock gentle. We did good. Kiss deepened slow, hands wandering familiar paths. Love's embers ever-ready flare. Winter-wrapped gifts under tree needle scent. Nick's wishlist practical, art supplies, security course tees. Holidays hosted Myra's expanding clan. Table raucous toasts, turkey carved knife sharp. But New Year's Eve, Nick's announced crush bold. Evan, from debate, gay cool? Hearts flipped, talks navigated gentle on consent, safety, joy unjudged. Spring bloomed college apps, Nick's essays raw on heritage. Two dads' legacy, resilience inked. Acceptances flooded. NYU art, Columbia poli-sci, choices Wade Park benches leaf rustle. Jordan's firm expanded coasts, travel blurring skies, but home anchored. Nights Nick's practicing speeches. Alex sketching portraits capturing growth. Summer road tripped route 66 echoes. Diners pie flaky, motels neon glow. Laughter-filled cab, Nick's shotgun DJ, Jordan's hand Alex's knee map. But pit stop diner, locals leered familiar hate. Slurs muttered low over coffee bitter. Nick's bristled, ignore. But Jordan's gaze met cold voice even. Problem, diffused tense, but car silent miles, air thick wound. Fall dropped Nick's to dorms. Empty nest echoing footsteps. Alex wandered studio aimless, brushes idle, until Jordan suggested trip. Italy whispers, Venice canals lapping stone.
Pflichtshummet Jetlag, Gondolas rocking zwei, Pasta twirling fork heaven.
Nights hotel silk, bodies rediscovering youth, moans echoing marble. Still burn for you, Jordan growled, Alex's gasp arch. Back, adjustment ached. Dinner's two-plate, bed vast. But purpose reignited. Alex taught workshops, Jordan consulted DC. Bills birthed from testimony. Nick's visited holidays. Tales tumbling rapid. Crushes bloomed, protests marched. Pride call, phone grainy. Miss you, Evan says hi. Climax stirred sophomore spring. Nixon turning reform NGO, uncovering Blackwood echoes, new scandal, guards abusing power. Your story lit the fuse, he emailed, article attached exposing ring. Jordan's blood boiled, phone calls flying feds. Alex rallying artists for awareness campaign. Murals splash cities, flames symbolic cry. Threats resurface subtle. Calls static hissed, mail slashed envelopes. Jordan beefed security, but resolve hardened. Nick's home summer, teeming hackathon, code cracking patterns, evidence mounting. Raid dawn televised, arrests clanging like justice bells. Fall semester, Nick's keynote panel, voice steady podium, Alex and Jordan front row tears proud. From my dad's fire, I learned fight. Applause thundered, hugs crushing post. Winter warmed family growth. Nix's engagement whisper, Evan's shy smile over turkey. Spring wedding bloomed garden, vows exchanged petal soft, dances swaying Nix's lead. Years cascaded, grandkids toddling, gray threading temples, but hands clasped unyielding. Alex's memoirs penned, Jordan's lectures legacy. The burn, now hearth for generations, secret transmuted legend of love unconquerable. Granddaughter Lila's pigtails bounced ribboned as she chased bubbles iridescent in backyard dusk. Nix and Evan grilling skewers sizzle, laughter lacing air with char and joy. Alex watched from porch Rocker Creek, Jordan beside, arms slung casual, fingers tracing wedding band worn groove. 25 years wed, lines etched laugh and loss, but eyes held spark undimmed, love's patent flame. Dada! Lila squealed, bubble wand waving, soap slick on chubby fist. Alex scooped, spinning dizzy, her giggles peeling bell clear. Jordan joined, family pile tumbling grass tickle, Nick's snapping photos flash pop. Dinner table groaned bounty, corn butter dripping, salads crisp, tails swapping. Evan's promotion, Nix's book deal mirroring Jordan's path. Nights post-bedtime, Lila's snores soft monitor hum. Alex and Jordan retreated deck, wine swirling ruby glasses, stars winking confetti. Remember the cabin? Jordan mused, voice gravel honey. Alex leaned, head shoulder nest. First real home. Kiss lingered wine tang, hands linking bridge across decades. Winter holidays swelled houseful. Myra's grates tumbling chaos. Tree groaning ornaments clink. Lila's all-lit face candle glow. Carol's croaked off-key delight. But quiet moments pierced. Jordan's cough lingering. Doc visits murmuring checkups. Alex's hand squeezing reassurance steel. Spring unearthed garden beds. Soil dark rich under nails. Bulbs poking green promise. Alex's retrospective toured Europe, Jordan tagging Paris strolls, sane lapping stone, croissants flake butter. But jet lag home, Jordan faltered step, hand clutching chest brief. Scare enough for tests. Verdict clean but warning. Slow, Reese. Summer vacations lakeside cabin. Echo of old, but stock toys, kayaks slicing water ripple. Lila paddled fearless. Nick's teaching stroke. Evan fishing lines plunk. Evening's firefly chase. Jars glowing prison pockets. Lila's wonder pure. One night, storm rumbling distant. Jordan confessed low. Thinking legacy. What Nick's carries on. Alex's throat caught. Fire reflection dancing eyes. He carries us, all fire, no ash. Fall colored fierce. Leaves carpet crunch. Lila's school play elf reprise. Jordan filming steady. But post-curtain. Crowd milling. Old face pierced. Blackwood survivor. Grayed but eyes fierce. Your story saved me. Came out after reading. Handshake lingered gratitude. Jordan's nod humble. Pay it forward. Climax wintered deep. Jordan's cough worsening snow muffle. Doc's diagnosing shadow lung. Scars from sandbox dust. Time's toll. Alex's world tilted, hospital sterile beep for drip steady. Nix arrived frantic, Evan trailing Lila wide-eyed. Fight, Dad. Nix urged bedside, voice crack. Jordan gripped hands circle, weak but warm. Did enough. Love you, burn on. Weeks blurred vigil. Chemo chair's vinyl stick, hair shedding pillow soft, but humor held. Jordan quipping nurse jabs. Alex reading aloud memoirs, laugh ring. Lila drew cards, crayon bold. Super dada heals. Spring bloom tentative, treatments easing, scans clearing cautious. Summer rallied strength, family lake return. Jordan frail but fishing rod grip firm. Tail spun lazy. Tell Nix everything, he whispered one dawn. Mist veiling water silk. Alex's tears salting shoulder. He knows. We all do. Fall harvested remission whisper. Doc's nodding approval, air crisp victory. Lila's birthday bash balloon riot. Jordan cake smear face. Laughter healing balm. Winter holidays glowed brighter. Resolutions vowed resilient. But true climax crested Nix's book launch, podium nerves, Alex and Jordan front, Lila fidget skirt. Words poured. My father's secret burned paths. We walk lit. Standing ovation crashed. Hugs enveloping. Pride swelling oceans. Years gilded. Lila teen sass. College-bound art like Alex. Jordan's lectures guest. Voice rasp but resonant. Grandkids multiplied. Chaos joyful. Alex's final canvas. Family portrait flames entwined. Gifted Jordan's 60th. Tears tracing lines. The burn endured. Secret transfigured wisdom. Love's legacy eternal weave. Lila's graduation cap tassel swung pom-pom as she crossed stage diploma clutch. Cheers erupting family section. Alex whooping loudest. Jordan's clap thunder despite weakened grip. 20 years post-remission. Time's march relentless but kind. Jordan's cane tap rhythmic. Alex's glasses perched brow. Nix beaming paternal from aisle seat. Evan snapping pics burst. Post-ceremony luncheon buzz chatter. Lila's hugs bone crush. Thanks, grandpas. Your stories got me here. Afternoon sprawled park picnic blanket. Sandwiches crusty. Lemonade tart. Breezes rustling leaves gold. Lila spilled dreams. Paris atelier. Murals urban bold. Jordan nodded sage. Cane propped. Chase fire, kid. It'll lead. Alex squeezed his knee under cloth. Silent vow. Still burning together. Evenings home quieted cherished. Puzzles piece table glow. Lila visiting tales rapid. Nix's calls policy wins. Jordan's health ebbed subtle. Breaths shallower. Naps lengthening. But spirit soared. Volunteering hotline queer youth. Voice gravel anchor. Echoes of us, he'd say. Alex transcribing sessions art therapy groups. Winter wrapped first great grand. Tiny bundle swaddled. Lila's glow maternal mirror. Hospital room hummed monitors soft. Jordan cradling fragile. Tears silver. Cycle complete. Love loops. Alex held Lila's hand. Circle unbroken. Spring stirred garden again. Lila pushing Jordan's chair mulch path. Bulbs Alex planted nodding violet. But one dawn, Jordan woke pale, chest tight vice, ambulance wail slicing peace. Our frenzy light strobe. Doc's grave. Heart falter. Time short. Family converged. Nix flying cross country. Evan corralling kids. Mira steel matriarch. Hospital vigil blurred. Beeps metronome. Coffee vending bitter. Hands clasped chain. Jordan rallied brief. Jokes cracking weak. Eyes locking Alex's profound. No regrets. Burned brightest with you. Alex choked. Lips temple press. Eternal. Baby. Final days hospice hush. Window sun filtering dust motes dance. Lila reading poetry lilt. Nix anecdotes chuckle. Jordan slipped gentle. Breath easing sigh. Hand Alex's slack but warm memory. Funeral spring rain mist. Graveside umbrellas bloom. Eulogies heartfelt. Nix's He Taught Fight Fair. Lila's Grandpa's Stories Lit My World. Alex spoke last, voice steady quake. Our secret burned chains, now free souls. Ashes scattered Appalachians, winds carrying embers home. Grief wave crashed initial, house echo footsteps, bed vast cold. But Alex channeled, memoir sequel penned, embers endure, sales funding scholarships Jordan's name. Art poured cathartic, canvases blaze grief to grace, exhibits honoring. Summer healed incremental, family gatherings laughter tentative then full, Lila's baby coups bomb. Nix's election win, council seat reform champion, Jordan's legacy pulse. Fall-colored memory walks, Alex tracing old trails, Jordan's voice wind whisper. Winter holidays twinkled altered, empty chair toasts. To the flame, years flowed. Lila's murals city icons, great-grand toddling firefly chase. Alex mentoring young artists, tales of burn inspiring. Nix's keynotes duo now, Alex joining stage, voices harmony. Decades closed circle. Alex 85, porch rocker twin to Jordan's ghost. Lila wheeling visits, grand lineage sprawl. Final breath sunset gold, smile serene, reuniting flame. The secret that burned, transmuted legend, love's light undying, behind bars or boundless skies.